Your company needs stories. You need stories because your prospects want stories. The human mind is built to digest stories, not just facts and information. Do you have a good story strategy? Because you're going to want one. And there are 4 elements you're going to want to think about. The first element is the prospect story. The second one is storytelling. The third is story branding. And the fourth is owning the story. So let's talk about the prospect story. Do you have empathy for your prospects? Do you really understand the story that they're in every day? Where their company came from, where they are, where they're going? What are their goals and aspirations? Do they have urgent needs or problems they want you to help them solve? Do you understand the role of the person that you're talking to? Do you understand the internal and external forces that they're dealing with in their marketplace? You want to climb into the prospect story because that shows you have empathy and understanding of what's going on. The second area is storytelling. Do your customers tell a good story about how you help them? Do you have customers doing that? Because if you don't, you're putting all the responsibility on the prospect to figure all this out, to be the pioneer and possibly be the one who suffers all the pain. That's the way they view things. They want to be able to see someone who's already worked with you, who's already been successful. It's the number one type of information that they want, almost 2 to 1 over anything else. So the question is, do you have customers that tell a good story about how you help them? The third area is story branding. How good are you at explaining the difference you're making in the world? What your brand stands for, where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. So for instance, Nokia started out 100 years ago as a paper company. Do you have an interesting story like that about where you came from, what you're doing today, where you think you're going? Do you really understand that? Because the prospect's going to want to know. And then finally, owning your story. Do you have executives and people on the front line that understand the 3 elements that I just went through? The prospect story, storytelling, and story branding? Because you're going to want that. The more people in your organization that can go through those 3 areas I talked about, the more powerful your story strategy becomes. So let's go through the 4 areas. We're talking about owning the prospect story and understanding it. The second area is storytelling. The third is story branding, and then owning your story. I guarantee you, if you have a story strategy that includes all of this, you will color your communication, you'll be more memorable, and what you have to say about your company and how you can help a prospect is going to stick.